How y'all doing today? So, I love artificial. I love top water. And one of the things that really caught my eye about this lure today, I'm just going to jump right into it. It looks great. A lot of lures catch fishermen rather than fish. I think pretty much anything that moves in the water that looks or even resembles an animal will get eaten at some point. Even something that doesn't, it'll get eaten. But some do it more effectively than others. In the right circumstance, anything will get eaten. But when you find a lure and a company that make realistic looking baits, sure, they'll catch fish, but can they actually hook up as good as something else? For instance, over here I got a couple of my top waters. Bam! Got me a spook. That bait right there catches a lot of fish. It looks like the general pattern of a fish, but besides that, the noise, all that, they just go after it. Now I get a bait that looks exactly like a fish, but will it work the same way? Well, I tested it, and the bait I'm using today is none other than the livetarget hollowbody mullet. See, this bait, it's a lot like a topwater frog. You got a little weight right there to keep it from flipping over on itself. You got your pre-rigged hook. That's the major thing. It's not like you can put a Texas rigged hook in here. Put a wide gap if you'd like to. It comes with the hook. That, I think, is the biggest problem here. If it was like a frog, there would be a lot of room for that fish to bite down on the bait. You see, this plastic isn't that soft. It's you gotta, it's not hard, but you gotta move it a bit. Not like a hollow body frog. I got this hollow body frog right here, the Spro poppin' frog. I believe it's Spro. The plastic is a lot squishier. It's a lot easier to squish down than this guy, and you can't really feel it, but there's a difference. Also, look at the difference. This bait, the hollow body mullet, is actually bigger than the frog here, but look at the difference in the body size. The Spro is about, you can see the difference. There's just that much more on the Spro, so it can fit wide gap hooks in there. It's got a lot bigger hooks. So when the fish bites on the Spro, bites down on it, you can see it pushes down on it. These hooks become very exposed. When you set hook, this bait actually will fold down, and the whole thing can actually come out. It'll go like this, and oftentimes you'll bring in the bait and the hooks are like this because it stabbed into the bait and flipped over, and so you leave all this exposed. With this bait, it can't do that. There's this stopping it, a little weight to keep it level, so the fish grabs onto it. You set hook. Well, after you set hook, unless you got it right in there perfectly, it's basically, there's nowhere for this bait to go, so it's just wedged right in there. There's no really place for the fish to grab onto it and get this hook lodged in them and be able to actually fight with it. This guy, you got that hook all the way out, and that bait kind of moves out of the way a bit. It'll even come all the way off this. If pulled off, boom. What it does, it'll go all the way through it. If that fish starts shaking, you just leave with the hook, and then this goes up the line, and you just got the frog hanging separately from the hook itself. This can't go anywhere. Now what I've had happen is it'll go down like this when I go to set hook, because the fish grabs onto it. This is a perfect example. The fish grabs onto the bait, I set hook, and I pull, and the fish is grabbing onto it, and instead of the hook popping out like it's supposed to, it literally just sends the bait down the shank of the hook like that, and it squeezes this up. There's no hook set on that. I'm losing that fish every time. So, and it's also a pain to get this little weight in there. So the concept of this bait is awesome. Absolutely great. I love the hollow body frog style. It walks the dog actually very well, surprisingly, for the type of bait it is. I've had other soft plastic walk the dog baits that just don't work that well. They constantly sink or nosedive. You know, they can use some tweaks. But they also have a removable wide gap worm hook, and that is the biggest thing. Or at least like the frogs, how they have a wide gap that comes out of the bait and can actually move around. And I know they want to walk the dog with this bait. That's the biggest problem. You can't get it to walk the dog. And it's a great concept, but right now the technology is not there enough. They haven't perfected it. So I really love livetarget because they make some great baits. Their frogs are awesome. The funny thing is the plastic on their frogs, I don't know if it's the same thing. It feels different to me. But it's the design of the bait and the way the hook is that makes it's just not right. The soft plastic, their hollow body frogs are my favorite frogs. It's a soft plastic that is easy to squish down, and those hooks come out so easily. You can hook that. It's perfect. So it's funny how the same company does something that's like it in a way, and it's completely different. So it's the first year it's out. Hopefully what they can do is they can improve from the bits and pieces of stuff like this and go from there. I'm not bashing the livetarget because I know it seems like they've done well. It just isn't quite there. I don't know how many times with this bait I stopped using it because I was getting so frustrated. I bass fished with it. First spot, I couldn't even hook up to a single fish. I had 5 hits. I'll do, if you guys would like, I can try fishing with it and record it, and so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. I did catch 1 jack on it, and because it inhaled it pretty good. And there's really, once that hook's in a jack's mouth, it's kind of hard to, it was a small jack, but it's kind of hard to get it out. But most of the time they would miss it because they didn't inhale it. They would just grab it and that was it. So I have not tried it on snook yet. So again, I hope you like this review. Thank you guys for watching. I can do more stuff like this, more reviews. I got a bunch of other baits that are just really cool that I think you guys would like to see. So again, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I love the comments. I like trying to reply to them. So please leave me some comments, and I'll reply to them as much as I possibly can. So almost to 3,000 subscribers. So close. I think 2986 last time I checked. So 14 left, and I'll be at 3,000 and I can give you away that reel. So come on, you guys like free stuff. I'm almost there. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a good rest of your day.